Welcome to Master the Process, where we break down recruiting, NIL, and the road to scholarships so families can build a real plan instead of guessing. Hi, I'm Coach Braxton, Arthur, former Division I athlete and 11-year recruiting coordinator, and the owner of ense, a college planning program for athletes and their families. I'm glad you're here, so let's get started. Hey guys, hey y'all, hey, welcome back to another episode of Master the Process. We have had some great episodes before this, but before we get into the one today, I'm going to take you back so we can recap what we went over in some of our episodes. Episode 1, I talked to you about why Master the Process even exists. And then we got into conversations with Coach Jay Nehru. We talked about NAIA, what those programs actually look for, and how NAIA can benefit your athlete in this process. Then episode 3, I got a little personal. And in that episode, I talked to you about my failures as a parent going through the recruiting process with my own son. And then Coach Hamilton joined us and we talked about exposure. What's really going on in Louisiana in recruiting right now. And he dropped us some great nuggets. If you haven't had a chance to listen to those 3 episodes yet, go back and take a listen. What I'm about to teach you today is the exact same work that came out of that season that I use with my son and with my circle of athletes. Here's how it actually came together. I wrote the theory first. That's my book, Future Finance Focus. But theory wasn't enough. Families needed step-by-step processes. So I came back and I built the actual process using the framework. And that's the companion workbook, which is the Future Finance Focus Workbook. If you haven't already, you can purchase both of those on Amazon. Go grab it now if you haven't already, because you're going to be able to walk along with me page by page as I go through the framework today. Every one of those episodes has been building towards one thing: the actual process it takes to get your athlete in front of coaches and onto real recruiting boards. Today, I want to break down some of the internal framework we use here at NIL Sense. If you're not sitting somewhere with a pen and paper, do that right now. I'm going to share with you some of the powerful framework we use inside our coaching sessions to help families get results. Help families get real results. If you're one of those families who've been asking the same questions I hear all the time, Coach, I haven't heard anything from any coaches, or Coach, where do I start? Or Coach, how does this recruiting process work today? Then guess what? Today I'm going to go over a lot of that information and answer those questions for you. So let's get started. So here is a truth I want to share with you. A school isn't the right school just because a coach wants your athlete. And it isn't the wrong school just because it's not a name that you have heard of. I call it chasing logos. Here are 4 fits. And when I say that as FITS, that you have to line up. And I mean all 4 of them, not 3. So the first fit is your academic fit. Can your athlete actually get admitted? Does the school offer the major they want? What does the graduation rate look like? This isn't just about test scores. It's about whether they will thrive at that particular school. Here's the one that we all are really looking at. It's the athletic fit. Does your athlete's current skills actually match their roster needs? Is there some real potential there? Is this the right level for your athlete? Not just the level that everyone assumes, the level that's actually right for your athlete. So you have to take a realistic look at where you stand right now. Then we're going to talk about the financial fit. Can your family afford this school? After every source of aid is stacked, the athletic, the merit, can you actually afford it? Not just a scholarship number on the offer letter. This is the fit that families skip the most when I'm doing my coaching sessions. And it's the one that will cost you the most if you ignore it. And then we talk about the personal fit, the distance from home, the campus size, the culture, the coaching style. Does your athlete actually want to be there? Or does it just look good on paper? So I walk through all of these very slowly with all of my families. And when I talk about the 4 fits, that's what I'm talking about. Your athletic fit, your academic fit, your financial fit, and your personal fit. Most families chase 1 or 2 of those fits and hope that the rest will all work out. Usually it's the athletic fit because that's why we're trying to be recruited. Chasing the biggest name, the highest level, the most exposure. While the financial fit and the personal fit, they get pushed back at the very end of the line. That's exactly how families end up excited about the offer and then they can't afford it. Are they committed to a school 3 states away and it never felt like home? Are they transferred? All 4 fits have to be true at the same time. Not eventually, not close, but all 4. Once you have your 4 fits, the next question is, okay, which schools actually fit? That's where we build our Power 60. It is a target list of schools. And here's the number people always ask. Why 60? Not 20 or 200? 20 is too narrow. You'll run out of realistic options first, and you'll end up chasing a handful of schools that you're never going to hear say yes to you. 200, guess what? That's too many. That's too wide. You can't write a real reason to 200 schools. 60 gives you enough range to spread across divisions, regions, cost levels, while you're also gives you a small enough number to manage a real strategy behind every single one. You build your Power 60 using 4 fits as your filter. Every school on the list has to earn its spot. And every school needs to have a why statement. The reason why you said this school should be on your list in the first place. Why this program? Why now? A coach can tell in 3 seconds if this email was just shot out to every single coach versus you doing research on each school. A real reason instead of a generic email. That changes everything on how a coach responds to you. So here's where most families will fall short, even the ones who build a great list. They send 1 email and they wait. 1 email is not a strategy. It's a starting point. So that's why we run our 5 and 5 rule. 5 new coach contacts, 5 follow-ups every single week without an exception. Not when you feel like it, every week. That consistency is what separates the athletes that get recruited from the ones that get overlooked. And every one of those contacts follow what we call the 3-touch rule. A first email, a follow-up email, and a final touch. Each one spaced out and each one adding something new instead of just repeating the same ask. Quick pause. If you know a high school athlete navigating the recruiting process, come on and listen in. The NIL Sense recruiting system is for parents of high school athletes who want to save hundreds of hours navigating recruiting, generate real college coach interest, and position their student athlete to receive up to $50,000 in scholarship offers that they can actually say yes to. Try it for free for 7 days. Link is in the bio. Let's get back to our show. If there's still no response after 3 touches, that's when you reassess whether that school stays on your board. This is the part that turns your list from 60 schools into an actual moving pipeline instead of a spreadsheet that just sits there. And here's how you actually protect the consistency. You put it on your calendar. We call it our future focus day. It's a scheduled time. It can be weekly or every other week. Where the athlete and the parent, you sit down together, not just for outreach, but for everything, scholarships, recruiting, admission, all of it. It never competes with a practice, It never competes with homework or 100 other things that you're putting into that week. It is a scheduled time, your future focused day. Families chase 1 or 2 fits and hope that the rest works out. Usually it's the athletic fit. They chase the biggest name. They chase the highest level. They chase the exposure. We talked about how financial fit and the personal fit. Financial fit gets left behind. The personal fit, sometimes we just go along with whatever makes sense at the time. But we've got to make sure all 4 meet. Even the families who get the list right still lose momentum if they don't follow up. They send the first email, they feel good about it, and then life gets busy. And the 5 and 5 quietly stops happening. And that's exactly why the Future Focus Day is so important. Without a set day on your calendar, this work competes with every single thing else that we do. We always say life is lifing, and I know it happens to me as well. We don't want to lose that. We don't want to lose the momentum. All 4 fits have to be true at the same time, and the follow-up has to keep happening every single week. Let's talk about our system we talked about today. The 4 fits, the Power 60, the follow-up system is all your recruiting engine. But recruiting is only half of this. Once the engine is running, the Prosper program comes in. It runs alongside of all of this. It's the funding side, because getting an offer and being able to say yes to it is 2 different problems. We'll get into this on a future episode. In my experience, financial fit is the one family skip the most. Not because they don't care about money, but because nobody teaches them to ask the real questions until the offer is already at hand. Ask it now, not later. It's a lot easier to walk away from a school on paper than to walk away after the athlete has already fallen in love with it. Let's go to our execution moment. This week, 3 things. First, I want you to start your 7-day free trial with NIL Sense recruiting system. The link will be in the bio of this video. Inside Module 1, it walks you straight through your 4 fits assessment. So you will know exactly where your athlete stands before you add a single school to your list. If you have not already yet, sit down with your athlete this week and write down your academic, your athletic, your financial, your personal fits. Put them on paper. The second thing I want you to do is to start your Power 60. Add your first 20 schools using what you learned from your fits and write a real why statement for at least 5 of them before you send in a single email. Third, put your Future Focus Day on the calendar right now. Pick a day, pick a time, and protect it. Protect it just like you protect games, protect it just like you protect a practice time. This one decision will keep everything else from falling apart. I hope you enjoyed this episode. I know it was a lot of information. You learned the 4 fits. You just learned the Power 60. You learned the follow-up rule. And you've also learned the consistency. And lastly, you learned how to protect this time of building your college plan and your recruiting program. So I hope you enjoyed this episode of Master the Process, and I will see you on the next episode. Thank you for joining, and I'll see you next time. That's it for today's episode of Master the Process. If today helped you see recruiting differently, do me a favor, follow the show, share it with a parent who needs to hear this. Remember, master the process and you maximize your opportunity. I'm Coach Braxton, and I'll see you next time.